So starting off with the watch warning map, again, tornado watch for our northwestern counties for Marion, Winston, Walker, Fayette, and Lamar counties, and then points to the northeast, includes all of northern Alabama and into parts of southern middle Tennessee. This goes until 7 o'clock this morning. The Weather Service in Birmingham did mention, by the way, depending on how these storms evolve, how they go, that there could be expansions of the watch. So parts of Tuscaloosa, Pickens County, even Jefferson County, Blount County. I see that they did do tornado warning on that one as well, which I'm not shocked at. We'll get into these storms here momentarily. But again, that watch could be expanded depending on how these storms evolve. But again, the entire message that I've been telling you guys is by the time the storms get down to the I-59-20 corridor, the tornado threat should be going down. I think it's probably at its peak right now, probably will still be like that for the next couple of hours. And then by the time they continue to track further to the southeast, we should see a decrease in the tornado warnings and the tornado threat. So we do have four. I'm going to include Lauderdale County here. So four tornado warnings within this band here, right?
I believe, I don't know if
five.
I think Huntsville. Nope, it is four.
It's four. Okay.
That new one issued there for Clay and I think, let's see.
Yeah, down there south of Tupelo.
Yeah, south of Tupelo. That one is reported there was a wall cloud on it, so they went ahead and issued the tornado warning. Down the line, that's concern for places in our area like Sulligent, Detroit, Vernon, areas up there and along, what highway is that?
In Alabama?
Yeah.
I believe that's Highway 14. I think it's 14 that goes, it's either 14 or 17. I have to zoom in and find it's one of the, it's down the one that goes from Hamilton down towards Vernon.
Yes.
But so four tornado warnings that we're watching. Two of them are out of our coverage area. That includes parts of Lauderdale County, Colbert County, and then this other one here that does have a confirmed tornado or did have a confirmed tornado on it for parts of Franklin County. That's towards Red Bay. That's getting towards Russellville. So if you know anybody over in there in that area, you need to go ahead and give them a call, give them a heads up. They should have already received that warning because that warning's been going on for probably about 20 minutes so far now. But again, we're watching the one for our area, two now. What we're watching for is this one just to the east of Tupelo, getting towards Fulton in Itawamba County. That will continue to move to the east and could clip parts of Marion County, and that could impact Hamilton, or at least parts of Hamilton. Will probably be the northern part of Hamilton if it does. And now this new tornado warning near Calhoun City, and that will continue to track to the east. And that one, like Ryan mentioned, could also impact parts of Marion County, but even bring in Lamar County and Vernon into the mix as well. So a lot of activity going on here that we're having to watch. And we'll go dive in here. There's that pink polygon again. I'm very curious on why that one is pink. This one, if you see, Ryan, this one, the confirmed one that we've been seeing is dark purple. And I thought the pink meant tornado emergency, but I think I'm completely wrong on that.
That one might be radar indicating confirmed.
I wonder if they're doing it by the damage potential, because what the Weather Service will do, considerable. What the Weather Service will do is if you have a confirmed tornado, then you can have the damage threat be added to the warning, whether that's considerable or catastrophic. Catastrophic is usually when you start having that tornado emergency, especially when it's getting into more populated areas. So that might be what that difference is. But you can see the tornado warnings here, four tornado warnings north of Florence here for Lauderdale County, just to the east of Red Bay now, getting into Russellville and Franklin County and southern Colbert County. Then we got this confirmed tornado that's getting close to the state line here, just to the west of Fulton, and this other tornado warning that is near Calhoun City down there in Mississippi. And that one didn't have a confirmed tornado, but it does have a reported wall cloud with it. So let's dive in, and we will take a look at each one of these tornadoes or tornado warnings. So quickly just go into the northwestern part of the state. We'll just kind of go down the line. So again, tornado Florence tornado warning just to the west of Russellville. This one is confirmed. That one I don't think is confirmed. But as we go further down the line, let me switch that to pan now. So that one will eventually move into the Russellville area here soon. So this is the one that we're going to be keeping our eye on because it's about 20 to 30 minutes away from the state line. So Bexar, don't need to take your tornado precautions now, but I would go ahead and get up and get ready just in case because this one has a confirmed tornado warning on it still, and I think it still is on the ground. Let me take a look at the debris signature here on my phone. I'm not really seeing it there, but I would go ahead and just treat this as that tornado is still on the ground here, south of Fulton, just south of I-22, and this is Mississippi Highway 25. This is the highway that runs up and down that east side of the state here from Fulton and then on up into parts of Itawamba County and Tishomingo County. So this one will continue to track on off to the east. Another thing to quickly mention, the line altogether continues to sag further and further to the southeast. The individual cells, especially the supercells that are embedded in the line, they are running more due east and east-northeast. Now here's another interesting thing with that. I mentioned tonight that the tornado threat should gradually go down because the winds of the surface we don't have a lot of directional shear, meaning that the winds of the surface aren't coming out of the due south or out of the southeast. They're coming out of the south, southwest, and southwest. So that limits the wind direction change as you go up in the atmosphere because the winds of the surface are coming out like this, and then up above, they're still coming out like this, and then up above that, then they finally start coming out more out of the west. So you limit that changing in wind direction. But one of the things that this does is when the storms move more to the east, they enhance that low-level spin, that surface wind kind of zone, that lower part of the atmosphere close to the surface. They enhance it because of their storm motion. So now they're able to turn the winds in more of a backing direction. So they actually change that kind of environment around that storm, and they're pulling in wind, and it adds that more directional shear to it. So you get this very localized, enhanced directional shear couplet area because the storm's moving more to the east. It's what we call a right mover. When they start moving, instead of moving this way, they start going to the right. That enhances that low-level shear, and that's why you still see these notches that are still going here and producing these tornadoes. So that could be an issue as we go later on into the evening. I don't think it's going to last very long because eventually you're going to get just so much wind out of the southwest that if these storms can't continue to move right, then that's going to lower the tornado risk. But that's something to keep in mind, that as long as these storms, these supercells, continue to move more east, that's going to be able to keep that tornado threat going a little more as we go later on into the evening. And we do have meteorologist Ryan Lemieux here. And Ryan, I think that the rotation for now is broadening out just a little bit near the Fulton area.
Yes.
It could be cycling once again.
Yes, that storm has cycled multiple times in the past, I'm going to say, hour or so. So this could be going through a little cycle trend. But that lightning is decreasing in the storm right now. Areas near Bexar, you're seeing heavier rain right now, but that isn't any part of a tornado-warned storm. That tornado-warned part is just east of Fulton right now. So we can see here on the map, just east of Fulton, that rotation would be right here, just near Tremont, and now that is moving its way towards Marion County. The National Weather Service in Birmingham saying they're potentially drawing something up for the storm, so we have to keep an eye on that. But they have said that the lightning in the storm itself has trended downward, meaning the storm is starting to weaken just a little bit. But like I did say, that storm has cycled multiple times. We have the tornado on the ground, and behind me here near Tupelo, it cycled right here, picked up off the ground, then touched down right here. And then it's been on the ground till Fulton, and it seems like it is lifted now, and it might just be cycling once again, as it does for the rest of the night. And that's what has been the case with these storms all day long. We've been tracking them all the way from Little Rock, Arkansas, all the way over here. We saw a tornado rip through Little Rock earlier today, but these storms right now starting to pose a threat to our viewing area and our counties. In Marion County right now is the imminent threat, and at the least I think they're going to issue a severe thunderstorm warning for this, for some small hail or some winds.
They just issued a tornado warning, so continue on with that, and I will go and
all right,
get us live on air. Go ahead. I should have the weather. Yeah.
Okay, so right here, this red box right here, that is in Marion County, northern Marion County. You are under a tornado warning right now. That means you need to get into your tornado shelter. That is this storm right here, just to the east of Tupelo. That is capable of producing a tornado. It is radar indicated right now. Now let's see on radar if we can, zoom in up here really quick to around Hamilton and see, pan. Please excuse me, this is my first time here on the wall doing this. Okay, so Hamilton, Bexar, Hamilton, Hackleburg, all in your safe places right now. You're under this tornado warning as we speak. So the storm that is just behind me right now is capable of producing a tornado. Now let's see behind me here if we can pan over just a little bit. Hold on.
Hey Ryan, I'm going to count you down. So if you want to reset the radar view.
Okay.
And for those on Facebook, we don't have a director back here. It's just us, me and Ryan, that's back here right now. So I'm having to talk with our master controller to get us live on air here. So just stand by.
Okay, so if you're on Facebook Live with us right now and you are in Marion County, northern Marion County, so that would mean places like Hamilton, Hackleburg, Bexar, all of you are under a tornado warning right now. That's this red box right here on the screen where I'm pointing at right now. That is under the tornado warning, so you need to be in your safe place right now. We're about to break into programming on television right now. Right now we're live on Facebook, and that will be a concern for areas near Hamilton, Bexar, and places just south of Hackleburg, and Hackleburg included in this tornado warning as well. This isn't a confirmed tornado. It is just the possibility of a tornado that is strengthening as we go on.
All right, Ryan, if you want to step off real quick, I will go ahead and get us live on air. All right, we are ready when you are.
Okay. Here we go.
And good evening, everybody. Meteorologist Taylor Plott here, along with meteorologist Ryan Laramie. We have a tornado warning now for parts of Marion County in our viewing area, parts of northwestern Alabama here. And this warning does go until, 3 o'clock in the morning here. So again, tornado warning. This is a tornado warned storm. Even had a confirmed tornado on it. And I don't think it is on the ground right now, but I do believe that it has a very strong chance of getting back on the ground here very soon. So let's go ahead and just get into this storm here. Again, this is a tornado warning for Marion County. It's a good chunk of the county, as a matter of fact. Let me go to the box zoom right here. We'll get into this storm. This is still, the circulation is right back in here. It's still on the Mississippi side of the state line, and this will eventually move into the Bexar community to the north of Hamilton as well. This is Alabama Highway 19. Right now it's crossing Mississippi Highway 23. So 19 and 23, those are the two highways that kind of run parallel to the state line here in Alabama and Mississippi. So this is moving into that area right there. Let's take a look at the velocity data on this, and yeah, that's definitely tightening back up again. So again, this is still on the Mississippi side of things. So if you live in Bexar, right along Highway 19 in the northern part of Marion County, if you live on 19 or near 19 north of Interstate 22, you need to be taking your tornado precautions right now, especially if you live in Bexar. This circulation here, they've been kind of pulsing up and down for the past several minutes here. And so while it might not be extremely strong right now, there's a really good chance that it could strengthen again, and that is not picking up what I'm wanting to do. Let me zoom out real quick. Bear with me here.
While you are zooming out, I would also like to say there is a threat for some damaging winds associated with the storm, too. So even if there is not a tornado, Bexar, you are under the gun for some damaging winds. But yes, that signature is looking vastly impressive as of right now.
Yeah, and Ryan makes a good point. So one of the things that you're getting out ahead of this is not only the strong pressure gradient winds not associated with the thunderstorms, but you're getting big inflow winds coming into this storm, into this tornado rotation here just to the southwest of Tremont. So you're getting enhanced inflow winds that could be on the order of 50, 60, maybe even higher in some cases. So if you don't get a tornado, if you're near the circulation, though, you could have that damaging wind potential with it as well. I wanted to go in here and see if we do have a debris signature again, because that's a pretty decent couplet, and I'm not really seeing much in the way of a drop here, so I don't think there's a tornado debris signature now. That doesn't mean that there's not a tornado on the ground, but I do think that there is a really good chance that there could be one very quickly. So again, Tremont is moving into your direction. Bexar and Scottsville right now, you are under the gun, so you need to be in your tornado safe place right now. Again, that's the lowest level of a site-built home. Mobile homes are a no-go. If you're able to get to a storm shelter quickly, I don't mean that it's like 15, 20, or 30 minutes away, but if you have one right down the street, I would go ahead and get in that tornado shelter right now. Good news is I don't think that circulation is, it's not as pronounced as it once was, but I'm going to draw a storm track here, and that is, Ryan, you're actually going to have to help me out here. If you can go, let me go back here. If you can go and edit the, the way that the storm track works, we can change the speed on it, where I don't have to really back out. But again, it's right now in the Tremont area, so Scottsville, Bexar, that I-22 corridor just to the west of Hamilton. You need to be in your safe place right now. Again, that's the lowest level of a site-built home. No mobile homes, no cars. Nobody should be driving along Interstate 22 between the Hamilton area and the Bexar area. And especially if you are possibly driving on Alabama Highway 19 right there, you do not need to be on the road at all. So I'm going in here, so I will change the speed based on, was it 50 miles per hour? So we do 50 miles per hour, so there we go. So when I draw this storm track now, it should be able to just take, there we go, take the speed of it. Perfect. So Tremont, again, that's in Mississippi. That's right now. And then Scottsville at about 213. I know this track doesn't go down here, but if it did end up making more of a right to southeastern turn, Bexar, you're probably in the probably seeing something as well. If it takes that turn to the south, probably closer to 210, 205 to 210 is what we're thinking about right there.
Let me see if I can get an updated storm track on this.
And while you do that, I'm going to go over here and see what the Weather Service is talking about. We have meteorologist Ryan Lairmew in with us tonight as well. So Ryan, go ahead and give us the latest information on that track.
Okay, so areas like Scottsville and Wigginton, this is heading in your direction. Scottsville around 211, 229 in Wigginton. And that, you just need to be in your tornado safe place. If you're driving along Alabama Highway 19 or Alabama Highway, let's see what that one is. Let's see, can I No, I can't. Let's see. Alabama Highway. Can you move your hand for me?
Oh, yes, sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. Alabama Highway 19, Alabama Highway 187, US 43. All of you are under the gun. If you know anyone driving on Interstate 22 heading towards Memphis or Birmingham, you are in the path of some damaging winds right now, but the tornado warning right now is in effect for northern Marion County, including the cities of Bexar, Hamilton, and Hackleburg. Areas like Scottsville could be seeing this possible rotation begin to pass over in the next couple of minutes. Right now it's 2:06 a.m. early in the morning. Places like Scottsville could expect this in around 6 minutes from now. This could be getting some interference from the storm that is directly to its south, but this storm has cycled multiple times over the past hour or so, so we could be seeing evidence of that starting to happen again. So Scottsville, I need you in your safe place. Pig Eye, 2:27 a.m. Hackleburg around 2:33 a.m.
Yeah, for sure, Ryan. And what the Weather Service is looking at right now, so again, if it does stick together or if it does kind of revamp and stuff, Pig Eye, you might be in the crosshairs, but I think there's probably a better chance that it's more Scottsville and probably making more of just a straight line across the northern part of Marion County. So Highway 19, at some point you're going to see this storm no matter what, whether it's severe or tornado warned or not. You're going to be seeing a lot of wind and some thunder and lightning, but just depending on whether it's severe or tornadic, we still don't know. But I would eventually think that that part of the storm we're watching will cross Highway 19 and then eventually cross Highway 187 and then Highway 43 and then Highway 253 as well. So again, it's kind of going to take the straight line across the northern part of Marion County. So I'm going to go ahead and clear this off. And what the Weather Service in Birmingham is saying, it's not looking as pronounced as it once was, which is good. But again, these storms have been very cyclic. They cycle. They quickly ramp up real quick. And I think, was I looking at storm relative? Go to base velocity. Yeah, I guess I was on storm relative. So what they've been doing is they quickly ramp up. They get tornado warning on it. They produce a tornado. A lot of them have produced tornadoes tonight in Mississippi. They produce a tornado, and then they do their thing for about maybe 10 to 15 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. Some of them have been a little bit longer tonight. And then they occlude. They get disorganized. The rotation weakens. The tornado lifts. And then you're in this kind of lull stage where the storm's trying to reorganize itself, and then it does about 15 to 20 minutes later, and then you have another tornado on the ground. So that has been the theme over the past several hours as these storms have crossed over into Mississippi and then into now parts of Alabama. So again, this is your rotation. This is your little couplet right here. You still got a little bit of that inflow notch right here. Also see you got another one here, so you might have a little two areas of rotation going on here. So
also have to remember that area just to the west of Bexar.
Yes.
That's another little notch that has some very broad rotation along with it. And Bexar, you are included in this tornado warning, so we're going to need you in your safe place, which is the most interior portion of your home, away from any windows, as many windows as possible.
Yeah, right here, just a little bit.
Yes, just a tiny bit of broad rotation there. Scottsville, same story goes for you. And downstream from this, Hamilton, Hackleburg, areas along Alabama Highway 19, Alabama Highway 253 near Hackleburg. All of you need to be in your tornado safe place.
Yeah, that's right, Ryan. And one of the other things, let me back things out. This is not the only storm that we're watching. There's another storm that still has a tornado warning on it to the southwest, and this one probably has a little more going for it right now. This is a tornado warning down near the Houston area in Mississippi. So this is to the west of Highway 45. This is the Highway 45 Western Highway. That's after the 45 split happens just at the south of Tupelo. So this one on its current trajectory will continue to move to the east, and this one will be more Detroit and Sulligent and parts of Lamar County and maybe even the parts of southern Marion County. So again, while we do have that tornado warning for the northern part or most of the northern part of Marion County. Again, there's other storms back here that we have to watch out for. We've had a lot of tornadoes tonight in Mississippi with these storms right here. We had a tornado that touched down to the west of Tupelo, then it lifted, and literally 5 minutes later it dropped another one on the eastern side of Tupelo, and that has since lifted. That's what this tornado warning is that's moving into Marion County right now. Had other tornadoes up towards Red Bay that was confirmed. I think there might have been even one in Lauderdale County that was confirmed. But again, all these storms are rotating, and we do have that tornado risk. We have that tornado watch that's in effect for our area, or for at least the northwestern portions of our area. So tornadoes are definitely possible tonight, but as we go later on, that threat should start to lessen as we go later on into the evening when the that is not catching me correct. Ryan, do you mind backing us on in there? That was catching something. There we go. Yeah, back us on in to that western Marion County. And again, the Weather Service is, yeah, that's becoming a little more linear. Yeah, that's good. I can take it from here. So yeah, if the wall will work with me. So yeah, this is just north of the Bexar area. That was up near Red Bay. There was a TDS up there that the Weather Service in Huntsville was looking at. So there we go. Yeah, now it's working with me. So Bexar, you need to be in your safe place now. You should have been there about 10 minutes ago. So Bexar is just now crossing the state line, but the way that this looks, this is very linear right here. But again, like I mentioned, these things have cycled. So literally within 3 to 4 minutes, 5 minutes, there could be another hook here with another area of rotation on it. Looks like the Weather Service in Memphis is issuing some more tornado warnings. So let's go back in here. And really, really strong winds coming into the Bexar area. And there's maybe a little bit of rotation here. There's not a whole lot to go on. So I imagine the Weather Service in Birmingham is just kind of waiting to see if this thing will cycle again. And again, like I mentioned, it could be a matter of 5 minutes, could be a matter of 10 minutes. We actually watched, Ryan, you and me watched one of the cells in northern Mississippi or actually central Mississippi that had rotation on it, had 2 cells that had rotation on it, and then they kind of weakened a little bit, and the Weather Service promptly expired or canceled the tornado warnings because the rotations weren't that strong. But literally 5 minutes later, Ryan, 5-10 minutes later, they had to issue another tornado warning because they had ramped back up once again. So that is the type of cyclic cells that we have been monitoring here. So what's left of this rotation is just now getting into Bexar. And one thing I am starting to notice, you're still getting this little bit of an inflow notch. And one of the things that I might be struggling with, like I mentioned, our winds aren't really in the prime direction at the surface. They're coming out of the southwest as opposed to the south or southeast, which adds directional shear, which enhances the tornado risk. So one thing that the storm might be combating is there's not a lot of inflow that's coming in from a due south direction. That's coming in from more southwest. And that's why you get more of this linear motion right here with these little kinks that happen. But it's possible that sometimes when these storms move more right, they move more east, due east, they can enhance that low-level spin, and you start getting more of a directional shear involvement with it. So again, we'll have to keep an eye on that. Ryan, you seeing anything over there that actually looks a little more interesting?
Yeah, I just wanted to check the velocity here, and there's, I guess, 2 locations that kind of catch my eye. The one that is that very, very bright, like yellowy orange color that is
this
just
one right here,
east of Bexar, and then just to the north of that, there are some grays in there that are associated with one of those notches that you were talking about. So that might be some weak rotation that's ongoing there near County Road 11. Let's see, and approaching Alabama Highway 19, which would be on the north side of I-22.
Yeah, so let's dive in here closer. So again, this is what is left of that rotation. So Taylor Road right there, County Highway 446, County Highway 122. Again, this is just to the north of Interstate 22 here. So this is probably 6 or 7 miles, if that, into the state of Alabama from the state line. So I don't really know what kind of exit numbers there are here, but I think they're around 10 or 12 on Interstate 22. So again, if there isn't a tornado down on this, there's some strong winds. They're called inflow winds. The storm's literally sucking in all this warm, moist air, and it enhances the wind speed. And it's part of the overall spin of the storm. It enhances the winds coming in, and then you get this what's called a rear flank downdraft on the backside, and that can give you some damaging winds coming in on the backside of the storm. Looks like there's another area of rotation there too. What's the Weather Service in Birmingham saying? Watching to see if the southern cell will do anything or Bexar. So they're probably, so yeah, that's what I think they were doing. They're waiting to see if something happens on that back end notch right here, just on the south of Bexar. So if you live in Weston and Hamilton, I'd still stay in your tornado safe place. If you live along Highway 19 here, just to the north of Interstate 22. So if you live right where 22 and 19 meet, and you go north about maybe 5 to 10 miles, you need to be in your safe place. If you live right along Highway 19, County Road 94 here in the western part of Marion County, and that still looks like it's just kind of just more bowing out than anything. And there is a little bit. We've seen these signatures before.
It's just the continuation there of the
until
warning.
3. Mm-hmm. Man, they took that out for a while. 3 o'clock. We've seen these signatures produce tornadoes. There was actually a signature not that long ago when this storm was back near Fulton. It had just very little bit of some rotation on it, but it had this massive debris ball. So there was a tornado on the ground with that radar signature. So again, anything like this, we do need to keep an eye on here. Take a look if there's any debris. And you get this line here. That's just a lot of noise that the radar is seeing. So you're not really seeing anything that's screaming debris signature.
I believe with that last little update for this warning, Scottsville, you were all clear right now from this storm. I guess our main areas of rotation that we're currently watching, sitting just east of Highway 19. Bexar, you also have an all clear from the storm. We are watching an area that is fairly close to Scottsville and Bexar, but the legal limits of Bexar and Scottsville, you are not in this warning, but areas downstream of the warning, Hackleburg and Bear Creek, still considered in the tornado warning. You're probably hearing tornado sirens go off in the northern part of Marion County right now. Treat it seriously. Get into the most interior portion of your home, away from any windows. That's your tornado safe place. And just if you're out driving on, or if you know anyone out driving on Alabama Highway 19, Alabama Highway 253, I believe that is U.S. Highway 43, and areas near Bear Creek and Hackleburg. Everyone there needs to be in their tornado safe place.
And Ryan, I think we might just have that cycling that has occurred. I'm looking at, it's that bright spot that was just to the east of Scottsville right here. Right here. So you're getting more inflow into the storm. So you're getting the rotation that's starting to increase once again. This is just to the southeast of Scottsville, just crossed Highway 19. And when I looked, it's going to be probably hard to tell, but there's just a couple of pixels that are kind of standing out right now. Ryan, are you able to do what we've done before, kind of back out on the timeline and see if this thing is just an artifact or if it's actually maybe the beginning of a debris signature? So we're going back right there. That's right on the edge. Because see, you got all this right here. That's noise. That's the there's just clear air. There's not a lot going on, so the radar is not really.
National Weather Service is also noting this, that there is a tad of a debris drop there on this signature, but we aren't sure what it is since it is so close to that line. That is a clear area of rotation right there, right where that debris signature is on radar. So if you're on County Road 325 in northern Marion County, Rideout Falls Road, County Road 29, Alabama Highway 187, U.S. Highway 43, if you live anywhere near any of these places, get to your safe place right now because we are going to be treating this as a tornado on the ground.
Yes, for sure.
So if you are in the path of this, take this as seriously as you possibly can. Like I said, Alabama Highway 187, going up north towards Pig Eye. If you are south of Pig Eye along 187, then get into your safe place because this is heading directly towards you. It's tracking east at around 50 miles an hour right now. Here we have a track going out. There's not many
very rural
population centers. This is a very rural area. But Hackleburg 235, that's in about 10 minutes from now. It will be knocking on your doorstep. Taylor?
Yeah, that's right, Ryan. And I would go ahead and treat this as a confirmed tornado on the ground. I know that the Weather Service they're trying to see. It's in a weird spot. But just as a course of least regret, I would go ahead, Hackleburg, Lumbull, right along, that's Highway 129 and U.S. Highway 43. If you live on Highway 43, U.S. Highway 43, just to the south of Hackleburg, between Hamilton and Hackleburg, you need to be in your safe place right now. I would very much treat this as a tornado on the ground, whether it is or isn't. There is a chance that there is a tornado on the ground here, so go ahead and treat it as such. This will eventually cross Highway 43 just to the south of Hackleburg. Hamilton, this should stay north of you, but again, if you live in Hamilton, whether you're in downtown, the east side, northeast side, the west side, whatever, if you have a Hamilton address, you need to be in your safe place right now. There's a really good chance that this is a tornado on the ground here that is just about to cross Highway 43 probably in the next 15 or probably even less than that, probably 10 minutes or so. Let me go ahead and go back and look at the debris. And again, it's hard to tell, but there's that one little scan, that one frame that it looked like there was a little bit of a lowering there. It caught my eye, and the Weather Service saw the same thing, and they mentioned it, that it looks like there might be a debris signature, but it's very hard to tell what it is. But given the way the environment is right now and how these storms have reacted to it, I would very much bet that we did have a touchdown here between Highway 19 and Highway 43 here in parts of northern Marion County. So again, Hackleburg, south of Hackleburg, you need to be in your tornado safe place right now. And one thing that I'm going to do, there we go, it started doing its thing again, so let me kind of zoom back on in here, is give a heads up to the eastern part of the county now. We've been focusing where that tornado is, but what about where it is going? It will eventually go and cross Highway 13 here near the Lumbull area. This is Haleyville. Haleyville, you're not in the tornado warning right now, but it's a really good chance that you might be later on down the road. Bear Creek, you had that brief tornado back on Friday night. Once again, got a tornado warning for you guys as well, so you need to be taking your tornado precautions. Let me back out. Ryan, are you able to back out just a little bit more on that? I want to get a storm track on this that goes further east. Zoom out just a tad bit more, and pan just to the right a little bit. Other way. Yeah, get more. Yeah, that's perfect. Right there. Right there. Perfect.
You want me to draw the track?
Yeah, go ahead and draw the track just to the south of Hackleburg. Take it out to where it would get into the Jones Chapel area. Just go ahead and just take it out all the way over there. That's an hour out. So Bear Creek, about 241. So again, this is not saying that the tornado is going to be all the way over here, and it's going to track all that way, but that rotation is consistently cyclic. So it will come and it will go, and so there's a really good chance that this will continue to do that same trend over the next hour. So Haleyville about 246, Forkville about 251, the Double Springs area, if it takes a little bit more of a jog to the south, right along Highway 278, probably closer to 3 o'clock in the morning, and then getting towards the Addison area over here in the eastern part of Winston County, right there on Highway 278, you too will be possibly under the gun over the next, or in the next hour to 50 minutes or so, because right now it's 226, and that is at 316. So 50 minutes away is Addison. Again, if this does continue on its current trajectory. So let me clear that out, and we'll go back in here. Again, if you're just joining us, we have a tornado warning for Marion County for a circulation that looks like it did produce a tornado about 5 minutes ago, right between Highway 19 and where it is right now. And seeing the Weather Service in Huntsville. We're not the only ones in the state that are dealing with tornado warnings right now, by the way. There's tornado warnings off to our north. So it's this area. It's just now crossing US 43 to the south of Hackleburg. So let me go back in here and take a look at the velocity. And it looks like it's kind of just bowing out again. There's definitely rotation with it. Right here, there's definitely rotation. You got greens that are winds going towards the radar. Reds are winds that are going away from the radar. So the entire storm itself is just gradually rotating in this fashion. But what we look for is that tight green and tight red, bright green, bright red, that are right next to each other. And so again, it's just this broad area of rotation. But again, as we've seen so many times, it happened about 5 minutes ago, and it happened about 30 minutes ago. It's happened all night that these storms, they will kind of gust out a little bit. They kind of get disorganized, what we call, they get occluded, so you get more cooler air getting wrapped into the system. So it doesn't like cold air. It likes the warm, moist air. That's what gets your tornado development going. So once you wrap in colder air with it, it occludes, rotation weakens, the storm kind of gets into a little bit of a funk, and then it kind of gets reorganized once again, and you get the rotation that tightens back up. So again, that can happen very quickly. It can happen within a matter of minutes. So right now, just seeing some broad rotation. This is just to the south of Pig Eye right along Highway 187 that goes all the way down to Highway 43 to the northeast of Hamilton. That's where that area of rotation is. The strongest part of the rotation that looks like it did produce a tornado, or likely produced a tornado, over near County Road 25 near Highway 19, that is this spot right here. So again, it's still there. We're still watching it. The Weather Service in Birmingham does continue that tornado warning. Again, it goes until 3. Goes until 3 a.m. So let's go ahead. We'll take a look at the warning polygon here. And go ahead and just back things out just a little bit. You see who is in and who is out. So Hackleburg and Bear Creek, you are in on the northern side of the tornado warning. Again, that circulation is right back here, and on its current path, it should go generally due east. But as we've seen before, sometimes they wiggle a little bit. So Hackleburg, you still need to be in your tornado safe place. Bear Creek, Haleyville, I would say you do not right now. I know some of you might have a Haleyville address that happens to be just to the west of the city of Haleyville. I don't think you need to be in your tornado safe place right now unless you are in the Marion County line, or on the west side of the Marion County line in Marion County. But if you're in Haleyville, you don't need to be in your tornado safe place right now. But I would go ahead and just get ready just in case this circulation starts to ramp back up here. Hamilton, you're all clear. Scottsville, all clear. Bexar, all clear. You guys are no longer in the warning. You still have some storms to watch, so you're not over yet. The tornado threat isn't over for the night for you guys, but for right now, you are not in the tornado warning. If you live on Highway 253, south of Hackleburg, all the way down to County Road 49, you need to be in your safe place. If you're on Highway 43, that's where that circulation is just now crossing. You need to be in your safe place as well. County Highway 48, that eventually makes its way on up to Highway 241 here. All the way from that, intersection all the way up to Bear Creek. You need to be in your safe place right now. So let's go ahead and take a look and go back into the reflectivity. And again, just kind of...
It's that little notch that is having that stronger rotation
here?
that just south of Hackleburg.
Over here.
It's the little notch that like goes into the storm just south of Hackleburg. Just, yes.
Yeah,
I
that
think
right
this
here.
velocity scan is just a little bit old. I think it's already crossed Highway 43 and is on top of Alabama Highway 253 right now, approaching County Highway 12.
Oh, yeah.
And places like that, slowly approaching or quickly approaching Alabama Highway 241 and areas such as Goddard and Bear Creek. You need to be in your safe place because we're going to be treating this as a tornado on the ground. You have to with all of these storms, as they have been cyclic all night. Hackleburg, you need to be in your safe place. Areas to the south of Hackleburg needs to be in their safe place. This is a fairly rural area, a fairly hilly area too, so not very many people do live over here, but for the people that do, we need to be in that safe place right now. Like I said, County Highway 12, let's get some more roads listed on here. Let's see, that's Tessner Road, County Highway 6, the community of Lumble, the community of Goddard, that's near County Highway 106, County Highway 141, the community of Bear Creek. Y'all did see that tornado touchdown last week, but there is another tornado warning in effect for you guys right now, so we need to take this as seriously as we can and get into your tornado safe place right now. That little notch that is right to the south of Hackleburg is looking like the worst.
And Ryan, can you back out just a little bit? I want to see if I'm able to. Yeah, all right, perfect, right there. So one of the things that we look at, I have my cell phone over here. We're using another radar source. One of the things that this radar does is it smooths out things. We have all the radar data is in pixels, and the smoothing smooths out those pixels and kind of makes an average, and just it makes everything look nice and pretty. But when you look at the raw radar data, this area right in here, you're getting an inflow notch that's coming in right here, and there's a circulation on the south side of Hackleburg, and I think we might get another developing tornado here. We've seen this signature before where you start getting this little bit of an appendage. It doesn't look like much, but it's in there. You get this inflow coming straight into the storm, and it's wrapping back around here. So I think we might have another developing tornado here along County Highway 112 as it goes up right along Highway 253. This is south of Hackleburg. If you live in Hackleburg, you need to be in your safe place, like we've been saying for the past several minutes. If you live along County Highway 12, Grady Cole Road, Chalk Mine Road, you need to be in your safe place right now. I'm going to see if we're able to see that velocity. I mentioned you this earlier, Ryan, that for some reason, the radar source that we have on our phones that we're able to look at, it colors this a little bit different. So you're able to see the rotation better on it. But it's this area right in here that is a little more concerning. It's right in this area right here. Again, I'm starting to see more of an inflow notch coming in on the reflectivity data, and that's starting to, now that scan that I'm seeing on my phone is starting to back off a little bit too. So you might have had, that area there, around that area. It has backed off just a little bit, but again, that's how quick some of these things can spin up. So again, you're still getting some inflow according to the reflectivity data coming into the storm, probably coming in more this way as opposed to kind of due south. If it starts getting, when it turns it due south, that's when you start getting that enhanced low-level rotation. You start getting that tornado threat with it. If it's coming out more of the southwest, you end up getting more of a linear, straight-line damaging wind potential, and that you could get a quick spin up back there, but it's really hard to get. But again, still, I would stay in your safe place here in Hackleburg. It does look like we did have a touchdown potentially off to the west, but right now, again, it looks like it tried. I don't know if it's going to succeed. Hopefully it doesn't. Right now it looks like it's backed off, but I would still stay in your safe place, Hackleburg south, right along Highway 172, County Highway 12, and up to Highway 241, even east of Highway 241. Again, this warning goes all the way up to the Winston County line here on the eastern side of Marion County. Bear Creek, Goddard, you need to be in your safe place right now as well. Again, it's this area right here, south of Hackleburg, that looks like we might have a chance at a tornado developing. And real quick, Ryan, if you want to clear that out and get the reflectivity back on and kind of back out and reset the view again, this is not the only storm that we are tracking right now. We have more storms off to the west.
Yes, we are watching this one storm in Monroe County, Mississippi, that will be impacting places in Lamar County, such as Sulligent and Detroit, and possibly even into Vernon. That's along Alabama Highway 17. Mainly right now we are looking at straight line winds with this storm, but this storm does have a history of rotating. It has not dropped a tornado in the past, but this was tornado warned about 15 minutes ago.
Let's take a look at the velocity.
We are continuing to look at that as well. Nothing.
It's a lot of wind.
Yeah, nothing too impressive on that. National Weather Service in Birmingham is saying that rotation is tightening back up in Marion County.
Yeah.
So we'll have to keep it. Yes.
Again, it's just that transient. It's that right there.
Wow,
if you're in
yes.
Hackleburg, you need to be in your safe place right now. We got a developing tornado that is just to the southeast of Hackleburg.
If you are in Bear Creek, we also need you in your tornado safe place. If you are along County Highway 12, that is on top of you right now, Lumble on Alabama Highway 241, safe place right now. The community of Goddard.
I think that's the other signature again.
Yeah, Bear Creek. This is very similar to what happened just a week ago today with that tornado that happened in Bear Creek a week ago. This is heading almost directly for the community of Bear Creek right now.
I think go ahead and just treat this. This tornado's down. Let's go ahead and just treat it like that. I think that's the beginning of a debris ball because it lines up very well with where the velocity data is right there. So I think that is your tornado debris signature.
Yeah.
Waiting to see if the Weather Service in Birmingham says the same thing. But I would go ahead and that's on the ground. Whenever you get a signature like that, you see that very dark green with some bright oranges right there. That's on the ground. That is a tornado that is on the ground here, getting close to County Highway 12. Again, this is south of Highway 172, southeast of Hackleburg. If you live southeast of Hackleburg, even if you live in Hackleburg, just a Hackleburg address, you need to be in your safe place right now. I think this continues to move this way. I think it continues to take that track.
There is a tornado debris signature on this right now.
Yeah, TDS is now on this.
This is on the ground. You see that green and the bright orange? That is where the tornado is. That little yellow blip right where that those two colors were meeting. That little yellow blip right there is where the tornado is picking up debris, whether that's trees, pieces of houses. There is the confirmed tornado on County Highway 12 heading towards Bear Creek, the community of Lumble and Goddard along Highway 241, Alabama Highway 13. If you know anyone driving along these roads, they need to get off the road or get out as quickly as possible. This is a tornado on the ground, confirmed.
And this is, once again, like I was mentioning, Ryan, you got the inflow, and it's wrapping itself all the way back around. You've got this embedded supercell that is bringing in this warm, moist air in this way, wrapping it around. There's your tornado right here, right along County Highway 12. We'll flip back on the velocity data here, here. There's your confirmed tornado. If you live in Lumble, if you live in Bear Creek, right along Highway 241, that's just to the southwest of Bear Creek, right along County Highway 12. That's your tornado debris signature. Tornado on the ground right now doing damage right along County Highway 12. And Ryan, go ahead and zoom in tighter. I want to see what county road this is right here towards Lumble. All right, County Highway 6. If you live in County Highway 6, McNutt Road, all the way down towards Tessner Road right here in County Highway 12, this is going to take County Highway 6 off to the northeast here towards Bear Creek. towards Lumble. If you live in Lumble, if you live along Highway 240, you need to be in a safe place now. You got about maybe 2 to 3 minutes before this tornado comes bearing down on you.
If you live in Bear Creek,
yes.
Safe place right now along Highway 13, safe place. Old Mill Drive, County Highway 99, Phillips Road, Alabama Highway 241. We are looking at downstream here, Austin Drive in Bear Creek, County Highway 79 just east of Bear Creek Lake Road, County Highway 62, Old Union Road. All of those places need to be in their safe place,
yes.
which is the most interior portion of your home, away from any windows. If you have one, get into a basement. If you live in a mobile home, try to get outside and into a ditch. That is the safest place, as mobile homes are not a safe place for a tornado anywhere in that structure. Like Bear Creek.
Bear Creek, you got 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
Okay. Like I said, all these roads that are listed here on the screen, County Highway 99. Bear Creek proper needs to be in their tornado safe place. This is on the ground doing damage along County Highway 6 right now. If you know anyone driving along Alabama Highway 13, if you live on County Highway 79, 62, or 85 in far northeastern Marion County, you need to be in your tornado safe place. This is a tornado on the ground doing damage right now, and the National Weather Service in Birmingham hinting at possibly extending this warning downstream just a little bit to include parts of northwest Winston County. If this might clip areas northwest of, or just north of Haleyville, Dime Road, areas near Center and Pebble, south of Posey Mill and Carroll Crossroads. All of these are in the path of this tornado that is doing damage right now through northern Marion County.
Yeah, Ryan, yes, if you live in Bear Creek, again, like I mentioned, tornado safe place now. Lowest part of a site-built home. Get away from windows, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. I don't think we're looking at a giant tornado. I think this is kind of more your lower end, quick spin up. It's not really in a zone where you're going to get a very long track tornado, which is good, but this could still be on the ground. It could be on the ground for 20 minutes. But I don't think it's going to be one that's on the ground for like 30 or 40 miles and it's on the ground for over an hour. But just as a course of least regret, if you live in extreme northwestern part of Winston County, if you live in Center, if you live in Pebble, Forkville, right along Highway 195, Haleyville, Donaldson Mill, right here on, I believe that's Dime Road. Dime Road runs all the way up to the northern part of the county here, down from Haleyville. If you live in these areas, I'd go ahead and take your tornado precautions right now. There's no formal warning, and look at that. It got tight again right there. So, again, tornado on the ground here southwest of Bear Creek. This will continue to track off to generally the northeast. It has more of an easterly component with it, so probably, hopefully it goes on the southern end of Bear Creek and not directly over Bear Creek. But if it continue to move this way, this is a lot of rural area here in parts of northeastern Marion County and northwestern Winston County. So there are definitely people that live out here. You need to be taking a tornado safe place right now, but you get more rural and hilly areas here across these extreme northern parts of Marion and Winston counties here. So again, rotation tightening back up here. Tornado on the ground crossing to Highway 241 as we speak. This will cross just to the south of downtown Bear Creek and eventually cross Highway 13 here and then eventually get close to County Highway 62. So if you live in Donaldson Mill, Center, parts of Pebble and Forkville, this kind of extreme northwestern portion of Winston County here, I don't think they've issued a warning yet. Okay, they have. All right, so we do have a confirmed tornado on the ground here just near Bear Creek. And now we have a tornado warning for Winston County. So let me turn on the warnings, and we will go through this tornado warning together. And Ryan, you want to quickly say how long does this warning go to?
This warning goes until 3:45 this morning.
So that's an hour.
It includes the city of Haleyville, Ash Ridge, Center, Posey Mill, which is not in our coverage market, but areas in Winston County are included in our coverage market. If you live near the Bear Creek Reservoir, this tornado is nearing you right now, downtown Bear Creek. You are under the gun right now. That is Alabama Highway 13. It's about to cross over that right now. It might clip northwestern Winston County, but the storm has cycled. And when the storms do cycle, we see that the rotation does begin to go a little more southerly. So areas like Haleyville, we need you in your safe place right now. This tornado isn't too far.
I got it. There it goes.
Too far away. Okay. Too far away from you, so you need to make sure that you are in your tornado safe place. There is that warning there from the National Weather Service in Birmingham. This is a confirmed tornado doing damage on the ground, so make sure you are in your tornado safe place as we speak right now. Bear Creek, it is bearing down on you right now. If you live around the Bear Creek Reservoir, we need you in your safe place. That's that little lake that we see there on the map.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, that's the reservoir there in Bear Creek. This is the same area that we saw a tornado in just last week, so they are definitely familiar with this kind of weather up there, and they are no stranger to it.
Yes, Ryan, and I'll go ahead and say, I know that, Bear Creek, you saw that tornado the other day. This is taking a different path. It's definitely over you, for sure. You got that other tornado we're dealing with now, but this is going to be moving more due east as opposed to northeast. I know the Weather Service in Huntsville does have tornado warnings posted for southeastern Franklin County and parts of southwestern Lawrence County, just to the south of Moulton. So again, this is kind of eventually going to straddle the county line here between the Huntsville TV markets and our TV market here in Tuscaloosa and Birmingham. So again, this is a tornado warning for extreme northern Winston County, so Forkville, Haleyville, Ashridge, Grayson, and Moreland. If you live along Highway 33, that's the highway that goes through the Bankhead National Forest here that has very little cell service. If you've ever driven that highway before, very scenic highway. And as it continues to work its way down into Winston County, eventually goes down to Double Springs. So this could be north of Double Springs, Highway 33 near Grayson and Moreland, north of Double Springs. You need to be in your tornado safe place right now. Take a look at the radar here. Again, this is confirmed. That's why you see that pink polygon. That pink polygon here means that it is a confirmed tornado. And this is one of the things that's starting to concern me a little bit. This is a supercell that's in the line. This isn't your typical spin-up type of tornado making storm. It can, and it looks like it has recently, but you're getting more of that big supercell look. You've got these kind of darker reds here. Once they start to kind of fan out, when the storm goes up, the updraft can fan out a little bit. You get what's called these eagle wings that happen in the radar data, and that tells me that there's a pretty decent mesocyclone. The supercell is pretty strong. So whenever you get these supercells that go on, those are the ones that can have these stronger tornadoes, and they can be on the ground longer here. So I think that might be the case that we're having here. Again, it's right here towards Bear Creek, and there it is. It's just now about to cross the county line. Let me go back to the reflectivity. I think we might be, I think we might start getting something on the south end part. So here's that initial rotation here. It's on the back end, just to the east of Bear Creek now. I do notice that we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning down to the south. I'll get to that here shortly.
Yes, that includes Lamar County, Marion County, and Fayette County. That is just for some straight line winds of this line of supercell storms starting to push into western Alabama right now. But there is a tornado on the ground heading into extreme northwestern portions of Winston County. The rotation has weakened just a little bit, but we are still treating this as a tornado on the ground doing damage. North of Haleyville, it will be heading in your direction Forkville in the next couple of minutes. A more populated area than we've seen in the past couple of minutes here. What is that? Newburgh Road, just north of Center. Needmore in your safe place. Donaldson Mill in your safe place. Let's see, Dime Road, I believe, needs to be in their safe place. County Road 3400, Chickakee Road, Airport Road in northwestern Winston County.
Yes, and this is your tornado debris signature, what's left of it. I don't know if it's on the ground right now, but Haleyville, I need you to be in your tornado safe place right now. One of the things that I'm watching for is I mentioned that it's that embedded supercell. You have that one area of rotation that's probably going to start to continue. It has started. It will continue to weaken. So I do think there's a chance that the tornado is still on the ground just about to cross the county line here, just north of Donaldson Mill, right along Dime Road. But it's the southern part right here. It's starting to kind of kink out a little bit. You've got this embedded supercell, so the entire storm is rotating. It has a rotating updraft with it, and there's nothing to the south. There's nothing to the south of this storm, and I'm starting to see that kind of curling around here. So you got winds that are coming into the storm right here to the west, to the east of Haleyville, just to the west of D4, right here to the west of Alabama Highway 13. So whenever you start to see that signature right here, that tells me that there could be very easily another tornado that's starting to develop on the southern end of this storm here, that southern flank. That's that prime spot to see. Yep, right here. There's your developing tornado again on the south side. So if you're south Haleyville, north of Boar Rush, right along Highway 13, it looks like we're having another development here just on the south end of Haleyville. So you live in Haleyville, the city of Haleyville, you need to be in your tornado safe place right now. So the warning from Marion County has expired because that initial rotation has moved off to the into parts of Winston County. But it's this southern area now that we're starting to get more of an area of rotation here. So if you live south of Needmore towards D4, it's County Road 58, this area right here, this will continue to move off to the northeast, maybe a little bit more to the east. And like I mentioned before, if they start moving more right, we call them right movers, they move more easterly than northeasterly, that enhances the low-level spin available for the storm. It basically creates its own environment. So the winds out ahead of this thing are generally out of the south-southwest, which is a little bit less in the way favorable for tornado development. But once you start getting these storms moving more east, they can grab that wind and they change the direction. It's not out of the southwest anymore. It comes more out of the south, southeast, and that enhances that low-level spin in that area. Now, that scan is a little bit less here, so that's a good thing. Maybe it will continue to kind of stay on the weaker side of things, but I don't want to take this for granted here. So again, if you live in Haleyville, live in D4, need more, even towards Ashridge, you need to be in your safe place right now. Let me go ahead and switch back over to the reflectivity data. Again, it's this notch here. You're starting to get a little bit on that southern side. So let's go ahead and go back up to the north, and then I'll check out that severe thunderstorm warning. Don't want to leave you guys hanging here. So again, if you live near Forkville, right here, this is that remnants of that circulation, just cross center. Donaldson Mill, you're pretty much in the all clear at this point. I still stay in your tornado safe place for maybe 2 to 3 more minutes here. Let me go back and look at the reflectivity data. Again, right back in here, let me see if there's any debris. I don't think there's going to be any debris lofted with this. There's still indications there, but again, that's going to be leftover. I don't think it's on the ground here. So this is debris that have been picked up probably over in Marion County. Yeah, TDS has gone away. Circulation near Posey Field. So that is going to be, I believe Posey Field is on the southeastern side. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan. I'm pretty sure that the tornado or the airport for Haleyville, I think it's on the southeastern side. I could be wrong about that. But again, this rotation here near D4, again, that's that southern part of the storm. It's on the very southern part of the tornado warning polygon here. It's just now to the east of D4. It's not.
Posey Field is just to the west of Forkville, but that rotation is weakening greatly.
Okay.
And I believe you are correct in the fact that a new circulation might be forming there to the south of Forkville near D4, County Road 30, around there, approaching Ashridge right now.
Yeah, and that northern tornado, if it's on the ground, it's extremely small. EF0 doing minimal damage at this point, not even able to kick up debris enough to get a debris signature on the radar. But I think it's pretty much done with. But still, Forkville, Pebble, I'd stay in your tornado safe place for the next 5 to 10 minutes because, again, we've got this other developing area of rotation down here just to the east of D4, and this will continue to move on to the east towards Ashridge. This is Alabama Highway 195 that runs from Ashridge all the way up towards Forkville and then down towards Haleyville. Kind of makes this arch here in northern Winston County. And if you live in Pebble, still need to be in your safe place. County Road, what is that, 3434 or 6434 right there?
3434.
3434 right here that runs down into Alabama Highway 119. Let me flip back over I'm going to zoom out just a little bit.
And I'd also like to bring some attention there to that
Yeah.
severe thunderstorm warning. That line of storms producing some damaging winds. They had a wind gust back in Mississippi of around 52 miles an hour. That line is approaching Sulligent as we speak right now. So Sulligent, you are under the gun with that severe thunderstorm warning. It's approaching Vernon as well. That is a nasty looking line. It's bowed out. That was once tornado warned, but it looks like all that rotation has dropped away from that storm itself, and now it's just producing some very dangerous winds along with it.
Yeah, that's definitely bowing out here, so you're definitely getting more of a damaging wind threat with that. Let me go base velocity with it. So yeah, you got all these winds that are coming in down in this area, so it's kind of going away from the radar here. So the radar beam's coming in like this, so it's kind of going down in this direction here. So definitely seeing some damaging winds. Looks like it's just come through Detroit and Sulligent area, right along Highway
17.
Yeah, right along Highway 17 here.
Oh, that is
That's
US. That's
278. That's 278 right here. 17.
Yeah, 17 connects Detroit, Sulligent, and Vernon. Mm-hmm.
Yep, right there. So it's cross Highway 17. And it's getting close to that US 278 corridor here that runs down from the Winfield area right here all the way down towards Sulligent. 278 goes down kind of like this. And so if you live down here, you don't really need to take your tornado safe precautions, but I would definitely kind of hunker down, stay inside, stay away from windows, and if you can get a decent amount of walls between you and possible, that would be preferable. But again, you don't have to take your tornado safe place. I just kind of, if you're able to be in the den, kind of away from windows, have the TV on, keep watching us. We'll give you the latest information on that. Tornado warning continues until 3:45.
Yes.
Again, for that storm right here.
Yes. That rotation still in northern Winston County, northeast of Haleyville right now. So we are seeing that right now as we are continuing. Oh, give me 1 second. My microphone did in fact die.
Yes, I can actually hear that your microphone's dead. So, I'm going back to the reflectivity data here, and I did notice something down here. I'll go back in just a second, but that southern edge is kind of bowed out a little bit more. It doesn't have that look like it's trying to wrap itself back around here. But again, still take your tornado precautions here north of Double Springs. This is extreme northern Winston County here. But one thing I did look at, let's kind of just go into the storm near Sulligent. And I can't remember if it was the storm relative that I saw it on. Yeah, storm relative. And we'll go in here, and again, there's still some spin out there. But again, the later we get into the evening, there's just not a lot right now. That's more of a wind signature here. So definitely some gusty winds from Sulligent, Moscow, right along Highway 17 here, Beaverton, right there along Highway 278. Then eventually getting towards Bluff. That's Highway 107 that runs down from Ewan down into the northwestern part of Fayette County here. So again, definitely getting some potential for damaging winds with this storm. So let me hit the pan, and we'll go back up here into the northern part of Winston County. Kind of drag on over here. So Ashridge right now is this. There's really not a lot there, but again, I can't stress this enough. We've seen this multiple times tonight where it looks like it's kind of dissipating, and then real quickly it ramps back up within about 5 minutes. So definitely need to watch this. I would imagine the Weather Service is going to continue that warning as long as they feel necessary until they are, very confident that a tornado is not imminent at this moment. I don't see anything down on the ground at the moment, but I do think that there's a decent chance that, again, it's just that edge. If this ever, again, I'll probably give it. What time is it right now? Right at 3 o'clock. I would say if by about 3:10, if one, we don't get another area of rotation back inside the storm, if this southern part doesn't kick around, then I don't think that we're going to be seeing a tornado risk imminent right now. But again, it's this back edge that we're going to have to watch for. There's the rotation that's back inside of it, well north of Eshridge, right here along Highway 195. It's just almost a stone toss away from getting into Lawrence County. That's that remnant circulation right here. But again, it's that south side. It's kind of bowing out now. You're not really getting that hook, that kind of push, that little appendage that's trying to kind of kick out, and then you get winds that are starting to twist in. And I'm not really seeing that right now across the area. Yeah, again, it's that spot right there. I don't really see, Ryan, unless I'm not seeing anything else on the other radar data.
I'm thinking the main circulation that this storm might be concerned with might have moved on into Lawrence County, where that little notch is in the northern part of the storm. This is the original circulation that was near Bear Creek, and it's creeped up towards the north and moved out of our coverage area, but we are still under that tornado warning right now for northern Winston County. This storm is approaching Alabama Highway 33 north of Double Springs. Double Springs, you were not included in this tornado warning, but north of Double Springs near Grayson and areas like that near Moreland, along Alabama Highway 33 needs to take shelter right now because the storm is still headed towards you and could still spin up a tornado. Let's see, areas, let me put areas near Ashridge still need to be in their tornado safe place. And let me zoom in some more so I can get some road names. Grayson, near County Road 76, County Road B15, Caney Creek Road, and I believe that is Mount Olive Road in extreme northern portions of Winston County needs to be in their tornado safe place right now. As the storm is still approaching you guys, it should be on top of Alabama Highway 33 right now, continuing to work its way downstream in Winston County right now. We are seeing that broad rotation still aloft in this storm. The National Weather Service still continuing this tornado warning right now until 45. I think it was 3:45.
3:45
is when this tornado warning is supposed to expire. The National Weather Service in Birmingham continuing that warning until then. So we're still treating this as a tornado continuing on the ground. The National Weather Service in Huntsville saying they will not be issuing a tornado warning downstream for this one.
Oh, up in Lawrence County.
Yes, up in Lawrence County.
That's good.
They are going to go with a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag on this storm. So I'm assuming Birmingham will follow suit with that.
Yes.
And there is that severe thunderstorm warning there that's about to pop up on the screen. Huntsville just issued it, so it might take a second to pop up on the map
so that
here.
that one's probably going to be up towards Speak, and I would imagine it would probably go into parts of western Morgan County.
Yes,
so,
and correct me if I'm wrong, that's Coleman County right there next.
Jones Chapel?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Coleman County.
And that is also with Huntsville, but Coleman County is not included in, Coleman County might be included. This was a separate severe thunderstorm warning that Huntsville just issued for a more northern storm.
Yes,
so
that
Coleman
one's up
County
towards...
might be included in the severe thunderstorm warning for this dangerous thunderstorm that is currently tornado warned. It's about to exit the tornado warning right now. It's got just a little tiny bit of ways to go.
It's looking like that again. It's trying again. There's so much shear in the air. Even though there's not a lot of directional shear, there's a lot of speed shear, and sometimes speed shear can compensate for the lack of directional shear, which it gives us the better tornado risk. So, but again, you're getting this bowing segment right here, and you're getting this kind of inflow notch coming in on the back side here. Again, it's this area right here. This is out of our viewing area now. This is up into Lawrence County, so this will eventually keep tracking on in. So Speak, Highway 157 here. There's Hartselle. Hartselle had a tornado not that long ago, actually. I think it was on Friday night. That was from that supercell that produced that big-time tornado in Mississippi. It kept tracking in, and it produced about 7 tornadoes total on its full path. And Hartselle had one of them, I believe it was an EF2 on the north side of Hartselle. So again, that is out of our viewing area. So that is that other rotation. But the Weather Service in Huntsville electing to go severe thunderstorm warning with that tornado possible tag because there's still some rotation with it. So you still have to watch it. But on this backside, I think you're getting a lot more damaging wind potential here, right along the county line here between Winston and Lawrence County, just to the northwest of Addison. I don't really see anything that's screaming tornado warning for it.
Neither am I.
Yeah, I actually did see that. It looks like Huntsville's going with another tornado warning, but that's up towards the northern part of Huntsville right now. So again, I think you're getting some damaging winds here. So let's back things out.
There's that new severe thunderstorm warning.
Yeah, right here. So Jones Chapel.
Jones Chapel in Coleman County, along with Lawrence County, and then I'm not sure. Was that Morgan County?
Yes, it's Morgan County. So that's Lawrence, Morgan, and Coleman right here. So again, that southern part of that warning, we're going to have to watch as it gets into Coleman County, the chance for maybe another quick spin-up tornado. All right, let me back things out. We'll kind of reset things again. If you're joining us in Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston, Gadsden, all of you are good right now. We're very much focused on this northwestern part of central Alabama here. So again, Coleman County, you're now under a severe thunderstorm warning. A tornado is possible, included on the warning. Again, that's with this cell that's moving basically parallel with the county line between Lawrence County, Winston County, and then eventually will be paralleling Coleman County and Morgan County here, just to the north of downtown Coleman. I think, again, it's got a ways to go, but as it looks right now, I think most of it will probably stay on the extreme northern side of the county. Another severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Lamar and Fayette counties, and even Winston or Marion County here. This is for damaging winds. There's really not a lot of kinks going on with this, so I don't really see any big-time tornado risk with this. But we do have cells that are still back off to the southwest. We've got a long way to go. I think the tornado risk will gradually go down through the remainder of the overnight hours, but it's not zero. It's never zero through this entirety until it gets out of our viewing area. I think by the time it gets down south, I think the tornado risk is going to be as close to zero as you could possibly get. But again, we'll still have to watch these cells. I did see this one pop up just to the east of Jackson, and if we do get any cells that develop well out ahead of this main line, those could easily be supercells, and those could be tornadic as well. Again, tornado watch is in effect for the northwestern parts of the counties, but the Weather Service in Birmingham, depending on what these cells do down here, they could possibly expand that watch to include maybe Pickens County or Tuscaloosa County and parts of the I-20 corridor. So that's not out of the question at all, but I do think that right now our main focus here is for some damaging wind potential and even the chance at maybe a quick spin-up tornado along this line here. So I'm going to go in here towards the Columbus area to see if anything's catching my eye. This one is kind of a little bit interesting. I don't really see a big hook on it. I don't really see anything reflectivity-wise right there that's screaming tornado, but let's go ahead and dive in here and see if there's any rotation with this. I'm not really seeing any rotation that a purple area that's range folding. That just the radar can't see what exactly is going on there. It's just kind of a dead zone basically. So I'm not really seeing any rotation on that. We'll go up along this line here. I'm not really seeing any rotation towards Vernon. Definitely some wind with this. I think there could be some damaging winds up to about 60 miles per hour with this. A brilliant wind field, seeing some wind right now. I don't see anything that's screaming tornado at the moment. And let me pop back on the reflectivity real quick and just kind of see that, yeah, that one's hooking around again. Yeah, I know that's out of our viewing area, but if you know anybody who lives near Speak, this is Highway 157. That's a highway that runs from Coleman all the way up to Moulton, eventually up towards the Florence area. If you know anybody that lives in Speak or Hartsville, I said Hartsville, or the Danville area, give them a heads up. I think there might be another potential tornado developing here. Again, that's kind of that wrapping around motion again. You got this nice inflow notch coming in on this end. So there's probably some rotation going on here. I did hear that sound.
Yes, they're canceling Winston once it clears this polygon. And then they are also coordinating a new tornado watch with the Storm Prediction Center. That is from the National Weather Service in Birmingham. That they are going to be issuing more tornado watches downstream of this, just to make sure that everyone is aware that the tornadoes are a possibility still tonight with this system moving through. And like you said, that signature is starting to wrap up once again there in Lawrence County.
Maybe a little bit in Moreland. All right, here's what I want y'all to do. If y'all live in Moreland, if you live in Moreland, Grayson, Mount Olive Road, Upshaw, Inmanfield, and Addison, right here along 278. If you live along 278, Addison north, up to the county line towards Lawrence County right here, Upshaw, down towards Nesmith, this little section here of far northeastern Winston County, they've canceled the tornado warning, but go ahead and stay in your safe place. There's a lot of wind out there, potential for some damaging winds. Trees could fall down on houses. We've had deaths like that recently, unfortunately, with trees falling on houses, people unfortunately trapped inside and unfortunately getting killed. So I would go ahead, Moreland, Grayson probably stay in there 5 minutes, and then you're good to come out. If you live in Moreland, Inmanfield, Upshaw, Addison, Nesmith, that kind of extreme northeastern portion of Winston County. What time is it right now? It is 3:12. Give it another 15 minutes. Give it another 15 minutes, and then you can have the all clear and come out. One thing we'll continue to watch to see if there's any rotations that develop again within this storm. But just because there's still a lot of wind out there to begin with, just go ahead and stay in. We've had a lot of rain over the past several weeks through all these systems, so the ground is definitely not dry. It's definitely got some moisture in it, so some of these trees might have an easier time coming down as opposed to not having a lot of rain recently. So again, just go ahead. I would go ahead and stay in your safe place. I think the warning initially went out until 3:45.
Yes.
So I wouldn't even say 3:45. I would say probably 3:30. I give it to 3:30. Just stay inside, hunker down, stay in your safe place for another 15 minutes or so, 15 to 20 minutes, and then I think you'll be good to come out of that. Again, I don't really see there's a tornado, but I do think there's a chance that there could be some trees that are getting knocked down here through some damaging wind potential. So I'd go ahead and just stay in your safe place. Just as a course of least regret. I mean, it's 15 minutes, just 15 minutes more, and then you'll be good to go out of there as well. There is that little rotation there south of Speak. It's not really as pronounced. It looked a little bit better when it was on the reflectivity data. Yeah, right here. So I don't know if there's anything going on here. It looks like it's getting more of a hell core here, so it could be getting stronger. So that would be heads up towards Hartsville and down towards the southern Morgan County area. Just kind of going down this line again, just seeing if there's any kinks here. That one near Vernon looks a little interesting. Let's take a look at the velocity data on that. Not really seeing anything on that velocity-wise, which is good. Just kind of looked a little interesting. Maybe a little just broad area rotation here. So what we're doing now, again, I don't think they canceled They're going to cancel it soon once it clears the polygon. All right, so that's what they're doing. All right, so they're waiting for that circulation is waiting for it to get clear of the polygon because it will be out of here before 3:45. So then they'll cancel the tornado warning for that. But again, we're having a new tornado watch that's going to be issued for parts of the area, probably further to the south with these storms coming on in. So we'll have that here shortly. So what we're going to do real quick is just kind of go down this line. Let me switch back over to the Columbus next right. You got something to add over there, Ryan?
No, I'm just seeing some damaging wind potential right now in Lamar County, in southern Marion County, heading into Fayette County right now. No rotation signatures on this line that's heading in to those counties right now. We are seeing that severe thunderstorm warning continuing in those three counties as well. Later on, this line will impact places like Fayette, Carbon Hill, Millport, Lynn, and Double Springs. If you aren't already seeing the rain, you're going to be seeing it very, very soon. But a wide view, we have those 6 counties in the tornado watch, but that is likely going to change as the National Weather Service in Birmingham is coordinating with the Storm Prediction Center to extend this tornado watch. We can see that extends all the way down to Meridian, Mississippi, so we could be seeing that tornado watch extended for areas like Tuscaloosa and Birmingham in the near future. Just waiting for that to come out into fruition whenever the National Weather Service does publish that for everything to be viewed.
Just real quick, I just saw that come through. So they did cancel the tornado warning.
There goes the tornado.
We're going to stay on for about 5 more minutes. I'm going to kind of run through that line real quick, and we'll see if they are going to be issuing that tornado watch here soon. So about 5 more minutes or so. We'll stay here, just take a look at some things real quick. The only tornado warning in the state is just north of Huntsville. This is right along the Tennessee state line. The debris signature, the Weather Service in Huntsville is saying that's going up to
10,000 feet.
10,000 feet. So that is a pretty substantial tornado that's right there along the state line. That will eventually move on into parts of Franklin County and Lincoln County up there in Tennessee. For our area, the tornado watch for now includes Coleman, Winston, Marion, Walker, Fayette, and Lamar. We have severe thunderstorm warnings for Coleman County. That is for that extended part of that storm that we had the tornado warning on. We're still watching that. Some things can happen here. We're getting to more hilly terrain, parts of Coleman County here. You get Brindley Mountain coming in from the northeast here, from parts of Morgan and Marshall counties. We do have severe thunderstorm warnings for parts of Marion, southeast of Hamilton, parts of northwestern Fayette, and a good chunk of north central Lamar County. Again, that is for damaging winds. Now, down to the south, we note that we do have that tornado watch that's still into effect, but you see no warning polygons in there. So that is a good sign right now. But as we've noted over the past few hours or such, that the area of storms that we have over here is continuing. Let me switch over to the Jackson, Mississippi next red. They're continuing to develop here. It kind of took them a little bit to get going, but they are developing now. So you're probably getting a little bit more of a damaging wind potential with this look. But again, it's these cells right here we'll have to watch for. There's a lot of fuel in the air. There's a lot of fuel, but we're getting into the point to where there's not a lot of upper level support down here. The upper level support's up here. That's where we'll be getting all the tornado warnings from this evening. Is you got the mix of the upper level support, good wind shear, and good instability. Down here, we've got good instability, good wind shear, not a lot of directional shear, but good wind shear altogether, but you don't really have a lot of uplift, a lot of support. So these thunderstorms, they can get going, they get their updrafts going, but they can't really get to their full potential because they don't have that really good forcing, really good cold air aloft over here. Kind of going back to, it looks like they have issued the tornado watch, but they haven't posted it yet. Ryan, I know that you have Twitter open over there. Have you seen what the graphic looks like? Maybe we can kind of just go ahead and just kind of mark out who is in the watch and not.
Nothing has been posted here on Twitter
as
of yet. I am continuing up. There we go. It is including the entire I-20 corridor and all the way south to Montgomery. Alexander City is also.
All right, here's one in Georgia too.
Yes. I'm just assuming it just has not populated yet in our area. So this, let's see, this will be, I will list off the counties here for us. We
All right,
have
go ahead.
Pickens, Tuscaloosa, Greene, Sumter, Marengo, Hale, Perry, Bibb. I think this covers our entire area.
Jefferson. All right, so
Yeah.
it's getting everybody now.
Yeah, everyone in the viewing area is included in this new tornado watch. The wording on this saying there are a couple of strong tornadoes that are possible within this tornado watch.
There we go. They just issued it, so it should be popping up here soon. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
Looks like we got a tornado warning
north of Coleman County. That is not in our viewing area. They said the lightning was starting to increase in that storm, so that just means it is strengthening and continuing to strengthen. But yes, this tornado watch is in effect until 8 a.m. Central Time, so this will go well into the morning. It's the weekend. It's Saturday morning right now. It's 3:21 in the morning, and this tornado watch will extend 4.5 hours, around 4.5 hours out as we continue on through the night tonight. We are seeing no rotation in our area, but a strong line of storms starting to push its way south through the area in places such as Vernon, Winfield, Brilliant, Double Springs, Lynn, and Addison, all about to get or are currently experiencing these heavy rains and winds along with this line that is starting to push its way through. There are no areas of rotation in this line as of right now, but these storms have spun up tornadoes fairly quickly in the past. We've been watching this all the entire time we've been here. I've personally been here since around 1 p.m. yesterday, and I have been watching this entire system since then. So they have been popping up tornadoes almost instantly, as we can see on radar. You're looking at velocity here in Coleman County. The tornado warning is just north of you, but it does not include Coleman County. You are not included in this tornado warning right now.
It's right on the line here. If you're in battleground, if you're a very extreme part of Coleman County, so this is north of Vinemont. So when you take Interstate 65, you go towards the Coleman area, you get up towards Highway 157 here, that exit that has a Cracker Barrel, all your gas stations, your restaurants here. When you go up, once you go down off of Brindley Mountain, down into the that Highway 31 interchange right there, right along the county line. If you live anywhere near there, that's where that old Stuckey's used to be, that old Dairy Queen right there, that gas station right there on Highway 31, just as you're getting into Coleman County. It's a little too close for comfort. If you live in that very small sliver of Coleman County, I'd just go ahead and go ahead and take your tornado precautions. You're just a stone toss away from Morgan County where that tornado warning is located. Just give it about 5 minutes, and then that circulation will get off to the north, getting towards the Falkville area, and that will eventually move towards Highway 36, Somerville, Valhermoso Springs, and eventually into Lacey Springs, and that is getting to the Huntsville area. But again, just real quick, just 5 minutes is right along the county line here. I'm not really saying there's a little bit of rotation near Inman Field, but this is looking pretty high up in the storm. So again, what we'll do real quick, so maybe a little bit of rotation here. So just going to have to keep watching that as well. Right there towards Inman Field, Jones Chapel. So got that severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado possible tag. So I would just go ahead and, again, you don't have to take your tornado precautions right now. I would just go ahead and kind of hunker down a little bit, maybe get a little more walls between you and the outside as you usually would. If you're in your bedroom, you might want to move into the den, get your TV on. Keep watching us here on WVUA 23. We'll keep you with the updated, get the latest on that. So as we go down the line, let me switch over to
severe thunderstorm warning for Walker and Winston counties associated with this line. I'm assuming for the next couple of hours, we're going to see severe thunderstorms warnings issued for the entire line as it tracks southeastward throughout the rest of the night and into the early morning hours, with the possibility of a few spin-up tornadoes embedded within this main line of storms. So this is not something to mess around with. These winds are strong. We had gusts reported in Mississippi about an hour ago of around 52 miles an hour. So that can do as much damage as a weak tornado can. That can blow over weak trees, that can pick up any loose items in your yard that might be just sitting there, like a trash can or any like lawn chairs or anything like that. Those winds can do that. So these winds are nothing to take lightly. We do have that new severe thunderstorm warning issued by the National Weather Service in Birmingham for Winston and Walker counties. They're also continuing the one there in Lamar, Fayette, and Marion counties right now.
All right, so here's what we'll do. We'll go ahead and toss it back to regularly scheduled program just in a few seconds. Go ahead and just take a look at this line. Again, damaging wind potential with this right now. We are watching to see if there's any rotation that starts to develop. We'll have to watch any of these cells that develop out ahead of the line. The only tornado warning close to our area is just outside of it, Falkville, up there in Morgan County, so north of Coleman. If you live in extreme northern Coleman County, probably want to still hunker down for the next 10 minutes or so as this line continues to move on through. A little bit down farther to the south, we're still seeing these cells develop. I think, again, once they progress further to the east, I think you'll have more of a damaging wind threat as opposed to a tornado threat. But tornado is definitely possible with any of these storms for the remainder of the evening. Quickly show you the watch and warning map. And again, tornado watch now encompasses all of central Alabama, and the northern part of this goes until 7 a.m., I believe, but that will likely be able to be trimmed back early. The rest of it goes till 8 o'clock. So the 8 o'clock one is everyone else outside of Winston, Marion, Coleman, Walker, Fayette, and Lamar. This little section right here, that is until 7. Everybody else, including Coleman, Coleman's still 7. Everybody else is until 8 o'clock tonight. So another real quick look at the radar, and then we'll get you back to your regularly scheduled program. We'll continue to do updates live on Facebook. Matter of fact, we'll probably keep Facebook up for just a little bit longer. Then we'll take a break. Me and Ryan will kind of reset things. We'll take a look at the latest information on it, on this storm system. But right now, tornado threat is not imminent. There's no tornado warnings for our area, but we do have some damaging wind potential with these storms. So what we will do right now, it is about 3:30, so 4 o'clock. We'll take a look and see how the storms are, and we'll do a couple more cut-ins as we usually do when we have a tornado watch for the entire area. So we'll do another cut-in coming up about 4 o'clock and take a look at your latest information on that. Real quick, I'm still hearing buzzing in the background, just making sure that this is not for our area. It is not. All right, so for meteorologist Ryan Laramie, I'm Taylor Plott. Thank you for joining us. We'll have another cut-in coming in at 4 o'clock, but for now, no active tornado warnings for our part of the state. Right now, we'll send you back to your regularly scheduled program. All right, I believe we are still going on Facebook here. Let me refresh the page. We are now no longer we are now no longer on the air. So I see 25 people on here. Let me just see if anybody has any questions. We'll stay on here for about maybe 5 minutes or so. Ryan's going ahead and taking a break, so we'll just kind of refresh a little bit. It takes a lot out of you when you got wall-to-wall coverage for probably over an hour at that point. Does take a little toll on you, especially when it's 3 o'clock in the morning. John's saying, awesome job. We appreciate it. I know I wish we were doing something else. I wish y'all wish that y'all were able to sleep just completely soundly tonight, and I wish I was able to do the same thing. But unfortunately, Mother Nature is not cooperating with us tonight. So if you have any questions, I'll stay on here for just a little bit longer, and then again, we're kind of in the background. We're not going away. We're just in the background, kind of catching our breath a little bit, getting some water. Taking a much-needed break, but just quickly for about 5 minutes, let's go into these storms, and let me box zoom again. That tornado warning still continues for parts of Morgan County. By the way, I think the Weather Service in Huntsville. What were they saying on it? This is on. Lightning from Morgan County storm is some of the strongest we have seen for our area. Even though rotation is broad, we've seen these rapid intensifications precede tornado genesis often, so we are going to maintain the warning. So yeah, interesting thing. Kind of just talk about it. So whenever we have what's called a lightning jump or a lightning increase, studies have shown that whenever you have a jump in lightning strike activity over a short period of time, if there's an increase in rotation, there's a higher likelihood that you have a tornado that's actually developing or actively on the ground. So that's one of the things that the Weather Service meteorologists and us here on the TV side of things will look for sometimes. If we have an area of rotation that doesn't have a lot of lightning with it, even though it might be strong, it might have a tornado on the ground. If it's not looking that good and we don't have a lot of lightning, then there's probably not a tornado on the ground. But then if you immediately get a jump in lightning, then that's a really good indication that circulation is going to ramp back up because the updraft is getting stronger. When the updraft gets stronger, you have more lightning activity with the storm. So that's what the Weather Service in Huntsville was noting there. And that actually might have saved me right there. Needed to do the pan. So this is for that storm right here. So that's that area rotation. Now it's actually up here. It's more towards Eva. This is Highway 36 and the 67 interchange. If anybody's familiar with that area in Morgan County, you got a Jack's there. You got your little gas stations. That's that kind of spot of Somerville. Downtown Somerville is just about 3 miles or so down the road, but this is kind of where everything is in the Somerville area. You got your gas stations, your four-way stop right there as you go up towards Lacey Springs. So that's just to the north of Eva. So if you're watching us here in northern Coleman County, you're probably good to come out of your tornado safe place. You probably still want to hunker down though. Probably stay in your den. Try to stay away from the window. There could be still some damaging winds in this storm. But again, I'm not seeing anything tornadic in our area. This is look from the Birmingham NEXRAD. Again, just a little bit of rotation here to the southeast of Double Springs. Fayette, Vernon, again, that's just a wind signature there. That's just seeing some gusty winds there, getting down towards the Millport area. Just kind of continue to go down this line here. And again, you start getting further away from the radar, getting up in the atmosphere, and you're seeing a lot more of bright green. So that just tells me that there's just some good wind energy out there for these storms to use. And those can either help with the tornado development, or on the other hand, which is what is most likely happening, is you're getting more of a chance at seeing some damaging winds out of this. So this is very linear right here near Eupora, down towards Winona, right along Interstate 55 here in Mississippi. So I don't see anything spinning with that. Let me hit the zoom out. What was that, Ryan?
That was the tornado up in Tennessee.
Okay, it looks like they did actually trim that warning. I just saw it pop.
And they also just trimmed the warning for, let's see.
That's Morgan County. Yeah, Morgan County. All right, so I'm going to end the stream here in just a little bit. We're going to do another cut-in along with the Facebook Live. We'll start the Facebook Live at about 3:55. We'll do a live cut-in at 4 and take another look at the radar. Again, we have a new tornado watch that is issued for all of central Alabama, and that goes until 8 o'clock in the morning. That small sliver, that first initial tornado watch that was included for the far northwestern counties, that goes until 7. But once this line passes through, the Weather Service in Birmingham and Huntsville is just going to start trimming back these tornado watches. Matter of fact, I think they already did for parts of Colbert and Lauderdale counties up there. So once this line moves through, you're done. You're done with the severe weather and tornado risk, but we've still got a ways to go. It's almost getting close to 4 o'clock here, and these storms aren't even to the I-20-59 corridor yet. So the timing has definitely backed off by quite a bit here. So these storms will continue to track to the southeast. But those individual cells, the individual parts of the line that we'll have to watch for, they're moving northeast, but it's the ones that start moving east, those right movers like we've been talking about tonight. They can enhance that low-level rotation. And if they can take advantage of that, they can produce a tornado very, very quickly here across the area. And again, we'll have to watch these cells. They're struggling to get going here just to the west of Marion. But if for some reason these can actually get going a little bit stronger, those could easily become those supercells that are all by themselves. And those could produce a strong tornado possibly as we go later on into the evening. So real quick, let me just kind of zoom back on in here, and then we will hop off this Facebook Live. Ryan and I in the background will still be watching things. We're going to take a break here because we've been going nonstop for, what, Ryan, about 2 hours now?
Just about 2 hours.
About
2 hours. I think it was around 1:30 when they started to discuss issuing that tornado warning there for Marion County.
Yeah. So it's rough not only just doing a couple hours, but there's times where we're on here for 7 or 8 hours just straight. And so thankfully we're not that long at this point, but definitely with it being early in the morning, definitely able to kind of catch a break here. If you're able to catch a break when doing severe weather coverage, potential wall-to-wall coverage, you take that break. You take advantage of it because you don't know if you're going to be able to get another one anytime soon. So just kind of real quick, take a look at the velocity data here. I'm not really, there's a little bit right there. I'll go to storm relative. I think I wasn't on, okay, yeah. There's not a lot. There's not a lot there that's just screaming out at me. But again, we got that tornado watch that is in the area. So we still need to watch these storms very, very closely. Daniel saying, I know folks love Richard, but you guys are doing a fantastic job of coverage. Richard's actually, able to have some time off right now, much needed time off. I know he's been covering a lot of storms here lately along with myself, and it's very nice for him to be able to have a night off to spend with his family. So I know, Richard's probably watching out there, and he's definitely keeping an eye on things. But so far, so good that we don't have anything right now that is very imminent across the area. But we're here along with Ryan Laramie. We're both here. We're going to be here through the remainder of the night, and hopefully we can get through this without any more tornado issues out there. Again, just little areas of rotation, but I don't see anything that's just screaming tornado right now. All right. We're going to hop off Facebook Live here. We're going to be back at 3:55 and then do a cut-in at 4 to give you guys the latest. Again, Tornado Watch has been expanded all across the area until 8 o'clock this morning. So, again, just have ways to get warnings in case they're needed. I don't see anything that is imminent right now. I don't see the Weather Service pointing out anything that is imminent right now. So just some damaging winds out there to deal with potentially. But, again, have ways to get warnings. Just stay weather aware tonight. Be ready to take action in case you're needed. These tornadoes, they can happen very quickly within a matter of minutes. So just be prepared that if you are under one of those tornado warnings, it might be right on top of you within 2 minutes. So once you get that warning, you need to go fast and get to your safe place, and keep it here at WVA 23 for the latest, and we'll keep you informed. We'll get through this just fine. All right, we'll be back on here at 3:55. Until then, I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. For meteorologist Ryan Laramie, I'm meteorologist Taylor Plott. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we'll be back on here at 3:55 giving you the latest information. But for now, everything is good to go.